We got the worst Queen albums right now, boy. The trash of the trash.
I disagree heavily. I disagree. This is one of my favorites right here. I don't know what you're talking about.
You love this album? Don't tell me you love this album. This album?
I love this album.
This is some R&B shit right here. They doing this shit.
We'll talk about it. We'll talk.
I guess this is the equivalent of me liking. This is the equivalent of me liking the Kiss Dynasty.
Yep. Yep. Yes. Yes.
Oh my Lord.
And I'm gonna explain why I love this. I'm gonna explain why I love this album. Right, this is one of my favorite Queen albums we're talking about today.
Oh my Lord! Wow. Lord.
I'm like, I saw that. I was like, what you mean?
About Lord.
But you know what? I understand your hate for it, and we'll talk about it. I understand your hate for it, though. We'll talk about it.
Oh God. I think Queen understands the hate because they probably hate doing this damn album.
We'll talk about that too.
Lord. Lord.
I was like, what the fuck try at, yo?
I'm like, this shit, I ain't writing a damn thing for this shit.
I'm like,
not a goddamn thing for this.
I could have sworn you liked this album when we did the discography breakdown.
I like 2 songs off of here. That's it.
Let me guess. I think I know what the first song is. Under Pressure.
Oh yeah, well that's the hit. That's the hit right there.
We'll talk about
that. That they use in the commercial also.
I know which one you're talking about too.
Yep, that's the other one I like.
And I think that's if it's that track, that's my favorite track on the album. That's all I'm gonna say.
Okay. Yep.
But this album, I'm not gonna hold you. I understand this might be the most polarizing Queen album. A lot of fans love it. A lot of fans don't love it.
Really? A lot of fans like this? Wow.
Yeah.
Wow.
And like I told you, Michael Jackson was even influenced by this album. We'll talk about that too.
Really? What year this came out?
82.
I thought it came out in 82.
I rest my case.
So Michael was influenced by this to make Thriller, which was a better album.
Oh hell yeah, Thriller was a better album.
Interesting. I don't hear no Thriller influences, but if he was influenced, then that's great. If he was influenced by it, then that's great because he did something great with that.
I was trying to get this album though, but fucking Life came. No, it's not out of print though.
Oh,
but I had Life.
Well, you know what? If I ever see it in the wild and it's cheap, I'm gonna get it for you since you love it so much.
Thank you so much.
I'm definitely not getting. You know what I'm saying? I'm definitely not getting that for myself.
All right, we're gonna start in about 3 more minutes.
I just like how all these poses make a big thing out of Record Store Day. I'm like, for real collectors, it's every day's Record Store Day for us.
I hate Record Store Day.
You know what I'm saying?
There's like 5 Record Store days a year.
Like they pick one day to show they love for somebody. I'm like, every day should be Valentine's Day.
There's like there are 5 Record Store days in 1 year.
Well, I could go to a record store now and find heat. Like we ain't waiting for a Record Store Day. That's some poser shit.
And what? Y'all making a big hype over colored vinyls? Please. Ooh, a colored vinyl. Ooh. So what?
Colored vinyls?
Yeah, because niggas make a big deal.
Don't change the fact that the album can still be garbage.
Exactly. Preach.
You know. The album can still be trash and it's in purple. Oh God. Purple vinyl, but the album is garbage. It's whack.
I'm gonna start whenever you are.
Let's go.
What's up, YouTube? How's everyone doing this lovely day? It's your boy Reg in the building. I got my homeboy trying to build in with me,
Yo,
and today is going to be the conclusion of the part one of the Queen discography breakdown. It's going to be Hot Space. Came out May 4th, 1982 on EMI under Elektra Records. This album was known for producers like Queen, Reynald Mack, and David Bowie. The singles albums came out with are Under Pressure, Body Language, Las Palabras de Amor, Calling All Girls, Staying Power, and Back Chat. And it had one guest appearance, and that was David Bowie. So, like I said, you guys should know Queen consists of Freddie Mercury, Brian May, Roger Taylor, and John Deacon. So, after the release of the Game album, you know what I'm saying, they started really heavily using the OBX. And I know we were originally going to do the Flash Gordon soundtrack, but I'm not going to hold you. I cannot find a good copy of the movie online. And I really want to talk about the movie and the soundtrack together. So I'm going to put the Flash Gordon on hold for right now. So around this time, too, you know, the whole disco era was still like, well, disco was waning, the whole disco demolition. But let's be real, there was still disco kind of hit-ish coming like in the early 80s and stuff like that, too. And, of course, Freddie Mercury was very influenced by the sound of both him and John Deacon. And this caused a discord when it came to like Queen. Like Brian May and Roger Taylor, they didn't really care too much for that sound because they felt like the music was very influenced by Freddie's manager at the time, Paul Prenter. And Paul Prenter, he was very critical. He was Freddie's manager from 77 to 84. And pretty much he didn't really like rock music. And he preferred to listen to like a lot of those like bass heavy music at the club. And just let it be known that when Another One Bites the Dust came out, it was actually the biggest selling single of that year and stuff like that too. And they really wanted to capitalize on that sound. Excuse me. And so pretty much, like I said, Brian May and Roger Taylor were very critical. As Freddie Mercury and John Deacon, they were all for this like R&B orientated disco-esque kind of sound. And when this album came out, it really was not well received critically and by diehard fans because they felt like the music was very lightweight when it came to Queen. But then over the years, it kind of like grew. It became more of like a cult classic to some people and shit like that too. You know what I'm saying? And I honestly feel like this album kind of gets a bit overhated on some real shit compared to some of the other albums in the 80s. Which I'm not gonna. Let me just be real. The 80s albums can be very hit or miss, but we'll talk about that when we talk about that. You know what I'm saying? So this definitely was probably like some of the best synths that they've ever used on this project and stuff like that too. You know what I'm saying? So yeah, man. Like I said, I don't actually have this album, like I said, so that's why I'm going to show the album cover. The album cover looks like some Andy Warhol kind of shit. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, pretty dope album cover. All right, so let's get started with the first track called Staying Power. Very, very, very dope song. This is actually the only Queen song which actually has a horn section added to it and stuff like that too. You know what I'm saying? So that's very interesting. Very, very, very dope. And the horn section was actually provided by Arif Mardin, who was actually, I think, like the CEO of Atlantic Records. Very, very, very dope track right here. You know, very funky driven. Love it.
this shit sound like a Patti LaBelle song. Something that she did like when she was doing those songs for Beverly Hills Cop. Like this
Oh
is like
wow,
a new wave retro R&B track done by Queen.
interesting. All right, next track, Dancer. One of my favorites off this album right here. This one definitely was more experimental, having a more heavy metal dance music kind of feel to it. Love the synths that was used when it came to this record right here too, which I feel like some of the best on this record. This is actually written by Brian May, and you can definitely see like the rock elements sneaking in and everything with this track as well too. So fire track.
Didn't like it. Nope.
All right. Next track, Back Chat. This was written by John Deacon. This is pretty much a borderline R&B track, probably the most funky track on this album, if you ask me. And yeah, John Deacon was very much in love with those club grooves at this time and shit like that. You know what I'm saying? And very, very, very hot track. I love Freddie Mercury singing towards it and stuff like that. You know what I'm saying? So yeah, this was a hot track.
They like it.
Damn, Shy, really?
Yep.
Interesting. Next track, Body Language. This is like a fan favorite track, but it's actually a very controversial track. It's probably like one of the more sexual Queen tracks ever, to be real with you. And pretty much, this one was pretty much talking about oral sex, if that makes sense. You know what I'm saying? If you guys remember that song from Frankie Goes to Hollywood, Relax, Relax, that track, it's pretty much kind of like that song in terms of content. It got to the point where this actually was one of the first music videos banned on MTV and stuff like that too. You know what I'm saying? So that's very interesting. But yeah, this one was actually pretty straight. Not a bad track.
Didn't like it. What's the name of that song again? That song you was talking about, that Relax song?
Frankie Goes to Hollywood, Relax.
Frankie Goes to Hollywood. Yes, I remember that. I gotta add that to my rock list.
Yes.
My rock playlist on Spotify.
That's a classic record.
Yes. I didn't know that was their name. Hollywood. Wow. Okay.
Track number 5, Action This Day. This is actually written by Roger Taylor, and he actually sing co-lead with Freddie Mercury as well too. I mostly called this one a slow return to their signature hard rock sound, to be real with you. And of course, Roger Taylor, he most specialized in that shit too. You know what I'm saying? So yeah, this one was a pretty dope track. I love it.
Didn't like it.
Oh boy. All right. Track number 6, Put Out the Fire. Very interesting track. This is actually a tribute. I think this one. No. This was more like a tribute, like not like a. I can't talk today. But this is actually a song we're pretty much trying to talk about, like the murder of John Lennon, and it was actually written from the viewpoint of the killer, Mark Chapman. You know what I'm saying? So, very interesting song. It's kind of like an anti-gun song and whatnot too. You know what I'm saying? So this is pretty interesting.
Didn't like it. Is this the John Lennon song?
No, it's a John Lennon tribute. This and the next song are John Lennon.
John Lennon. It sounds like something John Lennon would have did. So they actually sounded good on this terrible album. It sounded like they paid homage to John Lennon with this, and the pianos and the beat. This is like something I could hear John Lennon on, like for like Imagine or something.
Most definitely. All right. Next track, Life is Real, song for Lennon. This is another John Lennon tribute track right here. And little interesting fact was this actually, the lyrics is actually written before they actually done the music. I love this track because it has like a more slower arrangement that I could have definitely seen John Lennon would have done. It kind of gives me that early shit that you did with like Phil Spector as well too, you know what I'm saying? So very cool song.
I don't like it.
Why am I not surprised?
I told you there's only 2 songs I like on here.
I know. Next song, Calling All Girls. This one was another interesting track right here. This one was actually written by believe it or not, Roger Taylor, but it's a lot more slower. It kind of reminds me of some shit the Doors would have done, like the melody wise, some of the shit that the Doors would have done.
Right.
Especially like the Strange Days album, Waiting for the Sun era, you know what I'm saying? Both dope albums, to be real. And excuse me. Yeah, this one was pretty cool. Definitely a cool track right here. One of my favorite songs Roger Taylor ever done for the band, period.
Whack. Next song.
Track number 9, Las Palabras de Amor, which means the words of love. This is actually my least favorite track on this album. I didn't really care for this track. I get it. It was his tribute to South American fans. It it kind of reminds me of the song he did, I think, for the Day of the Races, which was a tribute to the Japanese fans and whatnot too. So I put it in. I didn't really care for that song too much either. So I get it, but it was like, eh.
I didn't care for a lot of these songs. So
I now the next two songs. I'm gonna be real. These are my two favorite Queen songs they've ever done.
yes,
My second my second favorite track on this album, Cool Cat.
cool
Yo.
cat. Cool cat.
Yeah,
That's the one that's in a commercial right now.
the Amazon Prime commercial.
Right. Yes.
Yes. This song, when I first heard this track, this is what made me want to check out the album. This is that perfect. It has a yacht rock, early 80s R&B with a rock feel to it. This definitely was one of the best songs that both John and Freddie have done. Originally, this song was supposed to feature David Bowie, originally on backing vocals. And there's a version, original version you can hear on YouTube, but it's not of the best of quality. And David Bowie, he said that he didn't really care for his performance on that track. So that's when he just stuck to the next song, which we'll talk about that in a minute. But this song is that perfect cruising down the street kind of song right here. Some of Freddie's best vocals are on this record right here. You know what I'm saying? I love the line where he says, "You're taking all the sunshine away, making now you're on the main line. I knew that, 'cause you were cool cat." Like that. Come on, man. Come on. And then a lot of Queen fans that don't care for this track though, which I feel like is kind of crazy as hell.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? But this is actually my second favorite track on this album.
I love it. Now this is a dope Queen track. Queen track. I love this joint. Love the beat for it. The melody. This is dope. It's just a real smooth track. You know.
Yeah. And now, my favorite, and I think it's your favorite song too,
Yes.
Under Pressure. Ding 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 ding. Ding 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 ding. Yes,
One of
featuring
the illest records to get sampled for a rap song, man.
right. Featuring my personal favorite rock artist of all time, David Bowie. Come on.
Yeah.
Freddie Mercury and David Bowie in a song together. Don't even get no better than that.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? So this is actually, I'm not surprised this is your favorite track. I'm not surprised, to be real with you, because
man.
This is a rock. This is one of those songs. It's a rock classic. You know what I'm saying? And it's pretty much two of the best at their time. Like their voices sound so equivalent to one another, and that's one thing I loved about this track right here. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, man. And of course, we have to talk about. We can't talk about this song without talking about the elephant in the room. How this song was sampled by a certain white rapper,
right?
Vanilla Ice.
That part.
And this is what kills me about Vanilla Ice. He tried to come out and say, "Oh, we did not sample. We did not sample this song." Yeah, I remember that MTV interview. He tried to imitate the bass line to add a little ting to it, act like he did something. So I was like,
he definitely sampled that. They bugging. he bugging.
Yo, he tried to play. He definitely tried to play as like, come on, man. Even MC Hammer has to give Rick James credit for
exactly.
Super Freak. Come on. And this is why Vanilla Ice is Vanilla Ice and Hammer is Hammer.
Yeah.
But yeah, this is a rock classic, and it's no surprise. It's a lot of people's favorite track on this album. No surprise there.
Mm-hmm. Definitely my favorite on here, and an all-time Queen classic. And as soon as that you hear that guitar riff, man, it was like, damn, you know something big was gonna happen. And the David Bowie, rest in peace. He did his thing on here with Freddie. Two legends on the one track is iconic, you know. And that Vanilla Ice song is one of the best hip hop songs ever. You know what I'm saying? Is only hit to me. You know what I'm saying? Is that he sampled it right You know what I mean? And he can say what he want, but that's definitely the Queen sample, and it was a classic record.
Yeah, you know I don't care for Vanilla Ice, so
Yeah,
you good on that.
yeah. He had. I give him the one good album. He had To the Extreme. That was his one good album, from what I remember, from certain tracks I remember. But
Play that funky music.
you know, Ice Ice Baby was like is one of the illest. Even now, that shit still bump. One of the illest joints.
You know what, Try? I already know you don't like this album. So I'm just gonna let you get over your thoughts.
I like two songs. That's it. Two. I like Cool Cat and Under Pressure. That's it. I don't now. To me, this album was more like disco than the last one we talked about. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Like if they had any disco influences, it was on this, and all like new wave R&B, it was on this album. You know, I don't know. It seemed like they were getting away from their roots. They were getting away from their rock sound and trying other things at this point.
Yeah, they admitted they were. They definitely were and shit.
Like they pulled the Maroon 5 on us.
No, we're not gonna go that far. We are definitely.
They pulled the Maroon 5 on us. This is
no,
how
no, no. Queen. See, the thing about Queen, even on some of their weaker albums, they always still go back to some of their signature sounds and stuff like that compared to Maroon 5. You know, and we're gonna talk more about that in months to come. Because honestly, I'm getting a little burnt out from Queen. That's why I wanted to pick this stopping point for right now. But so how much would you give this album? How many mics?
This is 2. This is too much.
That's crazy.
Other than the 2 songs and the John Lennon track, that's about it. That's the only 3 I would play off of this album.
Okay, respect. So honestly, to me, this is one of my favorite Queen albums. I'm gonna be real with you.
Wow.
And this album gets a lot of hate, a lot of motherfucking hate. And you know what? Queen was always a group that you never know what to expect from them. You know what I'm saying? So this was a more party, chill, laid back kind of album from them. You know what I'm saying? And I felt like, this was definitely picked up where the Game left off. Even though I prefer the Game over this album, this one is still very dope. And I give this a 4.5 out of 5.
Wow.
Yeah.
Ain't you the Queen lover?
Yeah. Like I said, this album is one of my favorite Queen albums. One of my favorites.
Where's this ranking in your Queen albums of all time? Is this like top 5?
Let me see. Hold on. Give me a second. I would say top 10.
Top 10? Okay.
Yeah.
Wow. Top 10?
Yes.
Wow. Okay.
Because like I said, when we get to like this, where albums like The Works and the one from 84, not 84, 86, we'll talk those. That's where I get a little critical, you know what I'm saying? But they picked back up during the late 80s. We'll talk more about that. All right. Part 3, top 100 rock albums. Now I gotta hurry up because I gotta get some rest for work and shit like that too. But let's do this. So we're gonna do 50 to 26.
All right.
My number 50 is one of my favorite double albums when it comes to rock music. Technically, I call this their last album, technically, but because the official final album was pretty much just live tracks and a studio session thrown in together. And I do have to get my hands on this album. It is Cream with the Wheels of Fire album, released in 1968. What you mean nice? I thought you didn't like Cream.
I like the album cover. The album cover dope.
Oh wow, okay. I was about to say.
Only Cream we acknowledge over here is Wu-Tang.
All right. So y'all should know Eric Clapton, Ginger Bacon, Jack Bruce. This is actually my favorite Queen album. This has classic songs like White Room, Sitting on Top of the World, Politician, Those Were the Days, Oh my God, nigga. Like, yeah, man, like this is this is just classic rock at its finest. They went more progressive with this album, to be real with you. They definitely went more progressive. Cause I felt like when they did the Valley Gears, it was more blues rock with a psychedelic edge to it. This one had a bit more harder progressive edge and shit like that. I felt like everybody was on point when it came to this shit. This is classic, 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 classic album. Hey, my sister's calling me. Let me. You can go on. I'll catch up.
All right, number 50 for me is Smashing Pumpkins with Siamese Dream, the second album from them, from '93. A classic album, my favorite Smashing Pumpkins album, and you had joints like Sharub Rock and Disarm Today, which was also on I think it was on the Rock Band. I want to say Rock Band 1 game. Mayonnaise. That's the classic album. Definitely one of my favorites from them. And I know they're still coming out with music. Shout out to the Smashing Pumpkins.
Sorry about that.
It's all good.
All right, how many did you do?
I did the first one.
Oh, so you just did number 50?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Oh, okay. I wasn't gone for that long. Okay, cool. All right. And what was your number 50, by the way?
Smashing Pumpkins, Siamese Dream.
Oh, God.
Anything. You don't like Smashing Pumpkins? No, you're not a fan.
I like a few stuff, but I'm not a big Billy Corgan fan. He wasn't on Pretentious Rock Stars.
Right.
But I do like that song 1979. That's my joint though.
Yeah.
Like that album, that one from 1979, that's my joint. I like that one.
Facts.
All right. Next song, album. We recently just did a review on this album right here. And it's Queen with Sheer Heart Attack. This is my number 49. I'm not gonna spend too much time because we recently just done a review, but this is what the album I would say is the beginning of the classic Queen sound. This is the album I kind of show people who say that they don't know how to balance when it comes to like the operatic songs and hard rock songs. And I give them this because they have hard rock songs like Stone Cold Crazy, but then they have the poppy songs like Killer Queen and everything like that too. You know what I'm saying? So this is a classic album.
All right. 49 for me is Audio Slave with their first album, super
Sick.
group consisting of the late great Chris Cornell from Soundgarden, rest in peace, and you got Tom
Yes.
Morello from Rage Against the Machine, one of the illest guitarists in rock. And this was a great album that had joints like Black a Stone and Cochise. You know, I Am the Highway. Phenomenal alternative rock album.
That's a group we have to talk about on this channel. That and
Definitely.
Soundgarden.
Yes, yes.
All right, my number 48. This is actually your favorite album from this group, to be real with you.
Okay.
And this is an album that I definitely, I mean, I want to put this album way higher, but
Right.
so many good albums is Van Halen with 1984.
Ooh. Yes.
Yes. This is really Van Halen at their peak. To a lot of people, this is like their second favorite album when it comes to the group. Me
Right.
personally, I'm not going to hold you. It is my second favorite because to me, my first favorite will always be, I'll have to say the debut album as my first favorite because that just set the whole blueprint. It's that one, 84, Woman and Children
Right.
first, and then what's the one? Fair Warning as my number 4. But this one was definitely like one of their most influential because Eddie Van Halen was literally mastered the whole synth when it came to that because he definitely had a more synth-driven sound when it came to this album, and this caused a lot of back and forth between Ted Templeton and David Lee Roth or going against Eddie Van Halen. But honestly, this was actually their most successful. Like the song Jump, which is actually possibly one of my favorite songs they've ever done. You know, that's the thing. They picked the right singles. Jump, Panama, Hot for Teacher. I'll wait. Yo, Hot for Teacher alone.
Yeah.
Can we talk about like the instrument? I love the intro and everything like that. I mean, that is pretty much one of my top 3 Van Halen songs ever.
Oh yeah.
And the video was, whoo! The video was crazy at that time. You know what I'm saying? But yeah, man. You guys should know when it comes to Sammy Hagar, the Sammy Hagar albums are very hit or miss. But to me, I'm a Van Halen, David Lee Roth guy, and this is the real testament of Van Halen in 1984.
All right. Number 48 for me is the Bengals with Different Light. And they had the big hits on here. Walk Like an Egyptian, one of my favorites. Manic Monday, written by Prince.
Yes.
If She Knew What She Wants, September Girls. To me, it's their best album. And I definitely enjoyed it. I think the Bengals are highly underrated.
Yeah, they had some heat. Yeah. My number 47, it comes from Neil Young with the Harvest album. You know what I'm saying? This came from 1972.
Nice.
Very, very, very dope album. This was known for songs like Heart of Gold, Old Man, The Needle and the Damage Done, which that song in particular was a very heavy song. It was actually a tribute to his friend and bandmate Danny Whitten, who died of overdose that year and shit like that too. So definitely one of those songs that pretty much be caution niggas about heroin addiction. You know, very, very, very ill ass album. You know what I'm saying? This is probably a lot of people's favorite Neil Young album. I definitely call this one of my favorites. So yeah, classic.
All right. 47 for me is Green Day with 21st Century Breakdown from 2009. This was an album that I got that Christmas in 2009. So it's a concept album, a rock opera album. And we had the big hits, Know Your Enemy, which was also used as the SmackDown, WWE SmackDown intro for like a couple years on that show. You had 21 Guns, one of my favorites. East Jesus Nowhere. What else they had on here? Last of the American Girls. That was another big hit. Definitely a great album. I love the album artwork as well. And this is one of my favorite Green Day albums, like top 3 for me, with American Idiot.
Shit, I'm good on that, but that's a nice pick. My number 46. This is coming from Simon and Garfunkel, which Bridge Over Troubled Water. Yeah, man. Got a lot of folk rock here. Okay.
Ooh.
You like this album too?
I like it, yes.
Wow. Okay.
I got the greatest hits for them. I got the greatest hits.
Oh shit!
Yeah,
I never
yeah,
knew like
I fuck with her. I don't know. I don't. Huh?
No, go ahead.
I hear what you saying. No,
I said
I
I know
was
you
saying
fuck
like
with.
I know most of the like. Yeah, yeah, yeah. I know most of the like hit songs I fuck with. You know.
Yeah, yeah, man. This is actually their last album they came out together because, well, I'm gonna put it quite simply, they weren't getting along at this point.
Right.
And Bridge Over Troubled Water was pretty much a song about their turbulent relationship, and that song has been covered by everybody. I love the Aretha Franklin cover the most. I feel like she had the best version of the song. This is also known for songs like Cecilia, The Boxer, The Only Living Boy in New York, you know what I'm saying? And this won a lot of Grammy Awards too at this time, you know what I'm saying? So I definitely need to get my hands on this album.
So 46 for me is Linkin Park with the Hunting Party. Now
Ooh.
This album, you know what's crazy? When this album came out, I heard it. I didn't really like it, but it like over time, after this, like all the albums that they came out with, this is like their only. This is like their main rock sounding album.
I
You know what I'm
heard.
saying? Like all of their other albums were like alternative. It was like, new metal. This album here is like their real rock sounding album. It was hard. They had a harder sound for this album. That they picked out. You know what I'm saying? I appreciate it now compared to when it came out. Back in what was that 2014?
Yeah.
They had Rakim on this album of all people.
Yes.
On Guilty of Fame. I love that song. I don't think they have a video for that. I gotta check. I don't remember a video coming out for that, but that was a single. Until It's Gone. Now I believe there's a remix for Until It's Gone with Pusha T, because I think that's on the remix album. I got the remix album that they dropped. I think Pusha T is on the remix for Until It's Gone. So that was a single. You got Wastelands, one of my favorites. Final Masquerade, another banger. Rebellion. So it's like, I think this was like their album for the true rock heads. Like for people that felt like, oh, Linkin Park don't really do rock. This was like their answer to those haters. But this was a great album. I definitely love it, and I someday I definitely got to add it to my collection.
That's a very dope album.
Yeah.
All right. Number 45 to me, this is an album that it kind of kills me that this album don't get that much love compared to the earlier albums. Is Black Sabbath with Volume 4. Love this album. This to me is this and Sabbath, Bloody Sabbath are my favorite Black Sabbath albums. And this might be vocally Ozzy Osbourne's best album with them, the group. This was known for songs like Changes, Snowblind, Wheels of Confusion. You know what I'm saying? Don't get me wrong. I like Paranoid. I like the self-titled, but I felt like Black Sabbath were at their best, and particularly when it came to the early to mid 70s and shit like that too. You know what I'm saying? And I need to get some more Black Sabbath album, but Black Sabbath is kind of hard to come by where I stay at. I only have one album, unfortunately.
Yeah. All right. 45 for me is Fall Out Boy with their 5th album, Save Rock and Roll. One of my favorites on them, and this dropped in 2013, and it had the big hit. I Know What You Did in the my songs. Know What You Did in the Dark, Light 'Em Up, Alone Together, Young Volcanoes, The Phoenix. Just a phenomenal rebirth of Fall Out Boy. This was like their comeback album, and they were more grown up on this album, and definitely enjoyed this one.
Interesting. Okay. All right. Well, my number 44, I gotta go with my boy Billy Joel with 52nd Street. This album came out in 1979. You know what I'm saying? This actually is my favorite Billy Joel album. Very jazzy. Actually, excuse me, the album came out in 1978. Excuse me. Very jazzy and everything like that too. And this album won a lot of Grammys too when it came out. You know what I'm saying? Including Album of the Year. This was known for songs like Zanzibar, Big Shots, My Life, Half a Mile Away, Stiletto. Oh my God. Like, come on, man. Don't play with me, man. This nigga right here, man. This album and The Stranger, two of his best albums he ever came out with, period. Period.
All right, 44 for me is a pop rock artist. I love her early stuff. This is Pink with Misunderstood, her sophomore album.
Ooh,
You had production done by Dallas Austin, Linda Perry, Scott Storch even did some stuff, and she had the big hits. Get the Party Started. The remix for that has Redman on it, and she sampled the rhythmics Sweet Dreams. So that Redman is on that remix for that. Don't Let Me Get Me, just like a pill. Family Portrait was like a personal track about her upbringing, with her parents, like, you know, getting a divorce and all that. And this was a great sophomore album by Pink.
Yeah, that is a very dope album.
Yeah,
and I was not expecting that album too. So
yeah.
Interesting.
I think I love her early stuff. Like her shit now, I don't think she's making good music now, but her early albums in the 2000s was phenomenal. And this is like, remember, this is like the album that she did after she got away from LAV.
Right.
Because LA thought she was R&B, and she said, "Nah, I'm rock," and she totally changed her sound after that first album.
LA Reid wanted to make his own Mariah Carey.
Yeah, it didn't work.
All right, number 43. I got to go with one of my favorites, Led Zeppelin with Physical Graffiti.
Nice.
This album came out in 1975. This is arguably Led Zeppelin's peak, if you ask me. Like, this was actually the first album that they've ever came out with on their own label, Swan Song. And this one was actually, man, like a lot of different styles came from this album. You know, you have your progressive rock, your folk rock, your balladry, and everything like that too. Like Kashmir, you had the Rover, In My Time of Dying, 10 Years Gone, and The Light. Come on, don't play with me, nigga. Like, come on. Like, classic album and shit like that. This album was so good, I had to put it in the Ziploc bag and shit like that. You know what I'm saying? So,
that's right. It was so good they had to put it in a Ziploc bag.
I put it in the Ziploc bag.
But I played it. I played it before, so.
All right, 43 for me is this is an album that we did a review on last year, and they're this group's most eclectic album. It's U2 with Zooropa.
Ooh,
love this album. Love the experimental music on here, and you had joints like Numb. You had joints like Lemon, which was one of my favorites. That was also a single. Dirty Day. You had The Wanderer with the late great Johnny Cash. Just a phenomenal U2 album. I wish they did more albums like this, because this was definitely like a departure from their traditional sound. And you know, some of their fans love it, some of their fans didn't care for it. They recorded the album while they were on a tour break, and it was supposed to be like an EP, I think, and it turned out to be like a full length album. And this was phenomenal. Love it.
Yeah, very dope. All right, number 42. I got The Who with Who's Next. You know what I'm saying? Very cool album, very dope, and everything like that too. This might be a lot of people's favorite Who album. You know, originally this was supposed to be an album called Lifehouse, which is like the more sequel to Tommy, but Pete Townsend had to redo this album, and he picked the best song from Lifehouse and put it on this album. I'm gonna say this, and I'm gonna get a lot of shit. I cannot stand that song, Baba O'Reilly. I never liked that song. Like that was I never liked that song. I might get a lot of hate though, but fuck it. Won't Get Fooled Again is classic. I love My Wife. Behind Blue Eyes was pretty dope. You know what I'm saying? This might be a lot of people's favorite Who album. Me personally, maybe my third favorite. I'm second or third favorite, depends. But this is a dope album though. I fucking love it.
All right, 42 for me is Sublime with their this third album, the self-titled third album. And yeah, this to me was like their breakout album. You know, I saw a lot of their videos during the MTV era from this album. You know, What I Got, classic single, and Santeria, Doing Time, Wrong Way, classic, 5 Mic classic.
Dope. All right. Well, my number 41. This might be a lot to a lot of people like the first album where it showed the maturity of this certain group, and it's gonna be the Beatles with Rubber Soul for my number 41. Very dope album. You know what I'm saying? They were definitely influenced by Bob Dylan and everything like that when it came to this album right here. This is known for songs like "And Drive My Car," "Michelle," "In My Life," "Girl." You know what I'm saying? Pretty dope album. You know, they definitely took their songwriting more seriously when it came to this one and shit like that too. So yeah, this one's pretty dope. Love it.
41 for me is the Rhythmics with Sweet Dreams.
Mm.
The second studio album from them in '83. Love this album, one of my favorites. And you got the mega hit Sweet Dreams, and This Is the House, The Walk, Love Is a Stranger. Annie Lennox is a legend. You know, definitely enjoyed this album.
Yeah, definitely a fire album too. My number 40, I gotta go with 9 Inch Nails with The Downward Spiral. This came out in 1994, classic album.
Yes,
one of my favorites, man. This is actually my favorite 9 Inch Nails album. You know, when I first heard Closer, I was immediately a fan and whatnot. You know what I'm saying? The video was crazy as hell too. I love March of the Pigs, a Warm Place, Reptile, Hurt. You know what I'm saying? Which that has been famously covered by Johnny Cash and everything like that too. Which don't get me wrong, I love the Johnny Cash version, but I feel like the original version is dope too. You know what I'm saying? So this is a classic album.
All right, number 40 for me is The Doors with Strange Days, the second album from The Doors in '67. And you had the joint Love Me Two Times and People Are Strangers was used in the Lost Boys movie.
Mm-hmm.
You had When the Music's Over, and we talked about this album. Phenomenal album.
Yeah, very dope album. All right, my number 39 is gonna be the Rolling Stones with Motherfucking Sticky Fingers. I don't know if I can really show this album cover online and stuff like that in case of getting flagged though, but
can you show part of it or no?
Yeah, I can show this.
Okay. So what's bad about it?
This.
I don't think YouTube gonna care about that.
All right, just making sure. That's my number 39. This is the Rolling Stones at their rawest, in my opinion. And songs like Brown Sugar, Dead Flowers, Wild Horses. My favorite track, Can You Hear Me Knocking? Ah, come on, man.
Yes.
Bitch. Woo! Come on, man. Don't fucking play with me. I know about my Stones.
That was used I think I was used in a couple movies too. Can you hear me?
Yeah, it was used in a lot of movies and shows.
Yeah.
This is a classic.
All right. It's another album that we did a review on a couple years ago, and it was requested by Sam. Bad Brains, when we did the Bad Brains discography. Bad Brains, their first album, also known as the Yellow Tape, and it was a great mix of hardcore punk and reggae. I love this album. You know, you got joints like Attitude and Band in DC, Sailing On, Leaving Babylon, one of my favorite records on here. Big Takeover, 5 Mic classic.
Yeah, definitely. All right. My number 38 is going to be one of the heaviest rock albums to ever come out of the early 70s. Deep Purple with Machine Head. All right. This came out literally, I want to say 1 year after the Fireball album, which was so close to making this list, but I'm just like, I had to go with Machine Head. This song literally has the best guitar riff ever. That dun 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 dun. Smoke on the Water. Bum 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 dun, dun. I was like, yo, that riff was crazy as hell and everything like that too. But I'm not gonna hold you. I feel like I love Smoke on the Water, but there was so many other heavy shit like Highway Star, Lazy, Space Trucking. You know what I'm saying? Like this is the fucking rock island, the head banging. Like this album was literally the blueprint for a lot of motherfuckers' life. Motherfucking AC/DC to Guns N' Roses and shit like that too. So Deep Purple, Machine Head.
All right, number 38 for me is Pearl Jam with 10.
Woo!
Did we do a review or we could be doing a review on this?
That's coming soon.
That's okay. Their studio debut from 91, classic album. You got the joints Jeremy and Alive, one of my favorites. Even Flow, Oceans, just a phenomenal album. You know, Eddie Vedder, another great vocalist as well.
Yes, Eddie Vedder, man. I like Eddie Vedder. This is another album that my number 37 is another album that we actually want to do a review on very, very, very soon. It's pretty much AC/DC with Back in Black, motherfucker. Come on now, don't fucking play with me.
I'm back.
Yes. Released in 1980, recorded in the span of 1 month. This was the first album with Brian Johnson after the death of Bon Scott. Now, you know, this might be my second favorite album from them because my favorite is actually, ironically, the last album they did with Bon Scott, Highway to Hell.
Right.
And this album definitely was them at their best. You Shook Me All Night Long, Back in Black, What Do You Do for Money, Honey, Rock and Roll Ain't Noise Pollution. That's a song right there, man. That's one of the most heaviest songs ever. Excuse me. And yeah, like AC/DC to me definitely were still like kept on being consistent, even with Brian Johnson and shit like that too. Even though I'm more of a Bon Scott dude, don't get me wrong, this still is one of the greatest rock albums of all time. Salute
to Kyle. Thanks for joining us. He said Genesis, Selling England by the Pound. By the way, Wild Horse is my mother's favorite track. That's dope. 37 for me is Evanescence with their debut album Fallen from 2003. Love this album. It's my favorite Evanescence album. It's a classic. You know, they had the joints Bring Me to Life. I think that was on the Spider-Man. No, Daredevil. I think that was from the Daredevil movie. You had Going Under, My Immortal. Now I love the alternate version of My Immortal when it's like half acapella and then like the beat comes in towards the latter part of the track. That's like my favorite version of the song. Everybody's Fool, just a classic rock gothic album. You know, Amy Lee is a great vocalist as well.
Definitely. Yeah. My number 36, I gotta go with my group Def Leppard with Pyromania. You know what I'm saying? Classic glam rock right here, you know what I'm saying? This was known for songs like motherfucking Photograph, I Don't Want Your Photo. Come on, classic. Too Late for Love, Rock of Ages, Fooling. You know what I'm saying? I'm not gonna lie, to a lot of people, this might be their favorite Def Leppard album, but for some odd reason, Hysteria actually grown on me in recent years. So we might have to talk about those two. I know you don't care for Def Leppard and shit.
You know, I know some of these songs. All
right. Yeah.
The 80s stuff from them.
Oh yeah, definitely.
Yeah.
But yeah, everything up to the 1992 album for me was their best period. But yeah, this is a dope album.
All right, 36 for me is the Foo Fighters with their 7th album, Wasting Light, from 2011. One of my favorite Foo Fighter albums. They had the first single was Rope, for a classic track. You had White Limo, you had Walk. These Days was another favorite of mine on this album. Bridge Burning, phenomenal album. You know, Dave Grohl and the whole band, just classic material they were dropping.
All right, that's dope. All right, so I'm gonna go with where we at? Number 35.
Oh yeah, number 35. Y'all ain't ready for this one. Y'all ain't ready for this one right here.
Metallica, Ride the Lightning. Yes,
We did a
number
review
30.
on that. I remember.
Yes, we did.
Yeah.
Yeah, this is one of my favorite Metallica albums. This might be my favorite next to Master of Puppets. You know what I'm saying? This one was probably like one of the most darkest albums, like songs like For Whom the Bell Tones, Escape, Ride the Lightning. Come on, man. Like this shit right here was thrash metal at its finest. The Cliff Burton era to me was always the best era of Metallica and stuff like that too. You know what I'm saying? So fire.
All right, 35 for me is Red Hot Chili Peppers with their fifth album, Blood, Sex, and Magic. Blood, Sugar, Sex, and Magic. From '91. And this was my introduction to them with the smash hit "Give It Away." You had "Under the Bridge," another favorite of mine. "Suck My Kiss," another hit single from this album. "Breaking the Girl," If You Have to Ask. Classic 5 mic album from Red Hot Chili Peppers.
Okay. Nice, nice.
Number 34. This might be a surprise to some people. I can find out.
But it's gonna be Steely Dan with the Asia album.
Ooh,
You know what I'm saying?
classic.
Yeah, classic album. You know, this has been sampled by a lot of rappers and everything like that too. You know what I'm saying? Black Cow, Peg, Home at Last. You know what I'm saying? I
Yes.
can't cry anymore. Come on, what y'all know about that shit?
Mm.
Everybody sampled that shit from MF Doom to
Mhm.
Lord Tariq and Peter Guns, which Lord Tariq and Peter Guns paid the hard price when they came to that. That's another story
Yep.
for a different.
No royalties for them. That shit went to Steely Dan instead.
Real, but yeah, this one was a very, very, very dope album. Classic.
I love the Peck joint. That's the one that Delos sampled.
Yeah,
That joint is fire. Definitely. Um 34 for me. I know people ain't gonna expect this on it, but I do fuck with this guy like you mentioned him earlier. 34 for me is the seventh studio album from Paul Simon, Graceland, 86.
mm,
Classic album, folk music, rock, a little pop on here, and what we call Afro beat now was called world beat back then. And you had the smash hit, You Can Count Me Out, and the title track, Graceland, or The Boy in the Bubble. You had Diamonds on the Soles of Her Shoes, Under African Skies. Just a phenomenal album from Paul Simon, and I think he won like a shitload of Grammys for this album as well.
oh
I
yeah,
remember him winning I remember watching that Grammy show back in the day, and he got like a lot of Grammys for Graceland. So great album.
definitely, definitely. All right, next album for me. This might be another surprise. People might not be expecting this one, but it's Pink Floyd with the "Wish You Were Here." You know what I'm saying? This one was a dope album. This was known for songs like "Shine On You Crazy Diamond," "Have a Cigar." You know what I'm saying? "Wish You Were Here." "Shine On You Crazy Diamond" was literally split up in like 9 parts and whatnot too. You know what I'm saying? Very progressive and everything. I know a lot of fans often say this is like their best album, which honestly I'm not going to argue with it because this album is very, very, very like Dark Side of the Moon was an album that really got them famous, but this one, it's like they were just questioning why they were famous with this album. It's very complex.
All right, about to hit you in the head with another unexpected addition on this list. This is a rock group. I mean, not a rap group that did a rock album, and I don't think anybody expected this from them. And it's really an album that's hard to come by now. MOP with their rock album from 2004, and this now they're rapping, but all of the music is rock. They have a live rock band with them. They even did a rendition of the Beastie Boys classic "No Sleep Till Brooklyn," which I thought was better than the original. They have a Joyce called, Conquer. Conquerors and Ground Zero. They also have a rock version for Put It in the Air, and there's like the rap version for that song. Um, just a great album, and there was no promotion for this album. None of the fans expected a rock album from MOP, but I think they killed it, and it's an album that don't get talked about. I think we got to do a review for this album. I don't ever see no reviews for
Yeah,
a
I
lot
never
of
heard
MOP.
it.
Yeah, they're rapping, but they're rapping with a live rock band, and they sound great. Like it's no switch up like Little Fame and Danzini's. Those sound the same. It's just that they're rapping over rock with a live band, and they sound phenomenal. So we definitely got to do a review for this.
Definitely. All right. Next song album. Number 32 is my girl Linda Ronstadt with Heart Like a Wheel. Very, very, very dope album. This came out 1974, I believe. You know, this was known for songs like He's No Good. Actually, yeah, He's No Good. You know what I'm saying? When Will I Be Loved? It Doesn't Matter Anymore. You know what I'm saying? Like, this is definitely some dope ass rock right here. Um, yeah, this is a fire ass album. I ain't mad about it. It's a classic.
All right, 32 is Alanis Morissette with her third album, Jagged Little Pill. This is an album that we did a review on a couple years ago from 1995, a classic album. This was my introduction to her as well. When she came out with the big hit You Ought to Know and Hand in My Pocket, Ironic, which is being played all over, MTV at that time, All I Really Want, 5 Mic classic. Cal said Ozzy got to be top 10. Well, I know he's more of an Ozzy fan than I am, so that might be in his top 10.
You never know. You never know. That's all I'm gonna say. You never know. But you just have to watch and stay in tune in and shit, you know. But I did mention some Ozzy albums here and there, but that's all I'm gonna say. Number 31, I got Bob Dylan with Blonde on Blonde. You know what I'm saying? This one was a very, very, very dope album. This was pretty much Bob Dylan just doing whatever the fuck he wanted to do and shit like that, getting all the creative freedom. And this was still part of his like electric period, but he also had touches of soul music, country, blues rock, like Rainy Day Women, number 12 and 35 was pretty much sung about him getting high and shit. Pleasure My Time, one of my favorite Bob Dylan songs of all time. Stuck Inside of Mobile with the Memphis Blues again was pretty ill. Yeah, this one album right here is just fire, fire, fire album. Like one of the best albums he's ever done.
All right, 31 for me is the second solo album from John Lennon from 71, Imagine. Phenomenal album. The title track, everybody knows that song. Phenomenal song. We had joints like Jealous Guy and I Don't Want to Be a Soldier. Give Me Some Truth. How Do You Sleep? Oh, Yoko. Just a great album that John Lennon left us.
Yes, sir. My number 30 is the Rolling Stones with motherfucking Let It Bleed. Yo, classic album. You know what I'm saying? This has one of the best opening songs in rock. Give Me Shelter. You know what I'm saying? I love Love in Vain, Live With Me, Monkey Man. You can't always get what you want. Nigga, what you mean? Come on, man. You know what I'm saying? Like, this is pretty much one of the most darkest albums they've ever came out with, to keep it a buck with you. And this is actually the first album where they had Mick Taylor. Mm-hmm. This is actually the first time they had Mick Taylor, and this is actually the last time they had Brian Jones and whatnot too. Because Brian Jones passed away around the time this album's about to come out and shit too. So
that song, You Can't Always Get What You Want. That's also on my playlist too.
Yes, sir.
I love that song. It was great.
Fire ass album.
Oh yeah. All right, number 30 for me, one of my favorite rock bands of all time, Weezer. with their debut album, the Blue Album from '94. Great album. Say It Ain't So, classic rock song. That was also on the Rock Band Game from back in the day. We had Buddy Holly, another classic record, Undone, the Sweater Song. Just a great album. You know, I love like early Weezer stuff like the Blue Album, Pinkerton. You know, they're still dropping music now, but it's nothing like their early classics in the '90s.
Right.
Yeah, this phenomenal album.
Definitely a classic album. All right. Number 29, man. I gotta go back to Zeppelin. I gotta come back to Zeppelin and shit. You know, we gotta go to Houses of the Holy, 1973. You know, it's actually my favorite Led Zeppelin album, believe it or not. You know, this is a classic album. The Rain Song, The Crunge, Dancing Days, which Bobby Brown actually used that sample from what's the song, Humping Around and stuff like that too. You know, The Ocean. You know, this is definitely one of the best. This is when they were just doing whatever the fuck they wanted to do and everything like that too. So Led Zeppelin, House of the Holy.
All right. Number 29 for me is from alternative rock rap group 21 Pilots with Blurry Face, their fourth album from 2015. This might be my favorite 21 Pilots album. I think it's a classic. You had joints like Stressed Out and Fairly Local, Ride, Lane Boy. Lane Boy is also a DJ Premier remix for Lane Boy, which was dope. Just to hear Primo do a remix for them. Heavy Dirty Soul. Just a phenomenal album. I think it's their best album. I think it's that good.
Definitely. All right, number 20. Yeah, hold on. Number 28. I gotta go with my boy David Bowie with The Rise and Fall of Ziggy Stardust and the Spiders from Mars. Yeah, this was a very important album when it came to the whole glam rock era, you know what I'm saying? This was known for his character Ziggy Stardust. Classic album. This was known for songs like this, the title track, Soul Love, Starman, Rock and Roll Suicide, Suffragette City. Yeah, very, very, very dope album.
Oh yes. 28 for me is the 11th album from the Beatles, Abbey Road, released in '69. My favorite Beatles album, a classic. And you had joints like Come Together, Something, you know, Oh Darling, I Want You, You Never Give Me Your Money. Like so many bangers on this album, man. This is even the album cover alone is a classic. Like they still talk about that album cover to this day. You know, people recreate that album cover, and just a great album from the Beatles.
Definitely. All right, number 27. I got to go with The Doors with L.A. Women. The final album with Jim Morrison and whatnot, too. You know what I'm saying? This is a classic album. This is known for songs like The Changling, which probably one of the best songs. Probably one of the funkiest songs they've ever done. The title track, Been Down So Long, Riders on the Storm. Yeah, what y'all know about this album, man? This is the last album they did with Jim Morrison. Yeah, rest in peace, Jim Morrison and Ray.
All right, 27 is an album we just did a review on. I think it was last week we did a review on from Queen, News of the World. Their sixth album, classic album, my favorite Queen album. You got the classic joints, We Are the Champions and We Will Rock You. Spread Your Wings, It's Late. Just a great album, man. Like I love it. I think it's one of their best albums, you know, in the early part of their discography, and phenomenal.
Definitely. And the last album, my number 26. Oh man. We're actually gonna do an album very soon on this one right here. Give me 1 second. It's Pearl Jam with 10.
Nice.
This album came out in 1991, August 27th. You know what I'm saying? This was known for songs like Jeremy, Even Flow, Alive. You know what I'm saying? Powerful songs right here. You know what I'm saying? I mean, Jeremy alone was like one of the best songs they ever came out
Yes,
with.
definitely.
Ocean, I love that one too. So yeah, this was a very fire track.
26 for me is the late great Prince. We are celebrating his anniversary today. The Love Symbol album. Love this album. You know, you got joints like My Name is Prince, phenomenal track where he's like, actually like rapping on the track. You know, you got Seven, which was one of my favorites on this album. Damn You, Sexy Motherfucker, The Max, Blue Light. So many bangers on this album. I think it's underrated. And rest in peace to Prince, man. He's a legend. He's definitely my top three of all time with Michael and Madonna, and he will forever be missed.
Definitely. All right, we're going to end off right here. We're going to do part 4 next week. All right, so yeah, this was pretty fun review. So tomorrow at 11 p.m., we got motherfucking Most Def, The New Danger at 11 p.m. and everything like that too.
Nice.
And Tuesday, we got a double video, Changing Faces, Subtitle, and the Get Out album from 10 p.m. Yes. And then Wednesday, we're going to do the Mama's Family review at
That's gonna be on my channel.
Mike's channel. Yep. I think that's going to be Wednesday at 10 p.m.
Cool.
I was thinking Thursday. Did you want to do the DOC album Thursday?
DOC?
Yeah, No One Can Do It Better.
We didn't talk about DOC yet? I thought we did that.
We never did that.
Okay, yeah, we gotta do that then.
Yeah, I'll let you know what time on Thursday.
I could have sworn we did DOC stuff already.
Nah.
We just did the MC Ren stuff.
Yeah, we didn't even finish MC Ren yet, but yeah, we're gonna finish all the NWA shit. Don't worry.
Okay.
Yeah. Cause I'm trying to figure out what day I want to go to my sisters and stuff like that too. But I'll let you know. I'll definitely let you know. But yeah, anything you want to say before we head out?
I might be doing a live stream tomorrow with the homie Chop It Up Hip Hop. We're gonna talk about Nas's new song with Primo that some people like it, some people think it's mid. We're gonna do like a little breakdown on that song and talk about what's to come with it, you know, with this possible Primo album. So we might go live tomorrow. I know he told me Monday, so we'll see.
What time y'all going live?
Between 6 and 8, cause I can't miss Monday Night Raw. So between 6 and 8, I ain't missing Monday Night Raw. So
yeah,
between 6 and 8, catch me on Instagram live with him, and we're gonna break down that new Nas song with Primo.
Yeah, I might go to Lashia's channel tomorrow.
Yeah,
I might go to karaoke, so I don't know yet, cause I gotta catch up on a lot of shit. You know what I'm saying? But yeah, this Queen album is still in print. So this was, in case y'all missed it, we did a review on this Queen album. I liked it. Try don't like it.
Nah.
You know what I'm saying?
I like the last 2 songs on there. That's about it.
That's funny. But yeah, hope you guys have a good night, and I'll see y'all niggas when I see y'all. Peace.
All right, peace.